Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most, Ghost. Today we got a bonus episode for the Attitude Era review series. This is going to be the first episode of SmackDown. So, got a little SmackDown going on here. We're going way back. I'm not talking about the pilot episode, by the way. I'm talking about the first episode that took place August 1999. And here we go. So, back in 1999, WWE tested the waters with SmackDown. They did a pilot episode, I believe, April of 1999, and the response was overwhelming. So WWE had always done syndicated television with, primetime wrestling, Wrestling Challenge, and of course Raw was on cable, USA Network at the time as well. So McMahon wanted to appeal to the masses in broadcast television. So going to SmackDown on UPN at the time was a good move for McMahon. It's what really got me to become a pretty much a religious watcher of the WWF, as I did not have cable at the time. So I was able to watch SmackDown every week and got my own copy of SmackDown. The first episode here. Canada, the network's much different, guys. So, this is original footage from the first airing, the original air date of SmackDown. So, this took place, like I said, August 26th, 1999. This is, by the way, it's just going to be a one-off episode. I might review a few more SmackDowns in the future, but for now, this is just a one-off. I know I'm a bit late, but the anniversary was, I think, a week or so ago, 2 weeks. This took place in the Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri, the same arena in which Owen Hart's accident occurred. We have Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross doing the first episode of SmackDown as well. So I don't think it was until the second or third episode that Michael Cole came in. So to start the show off here, this is the first SmackDown. It's the second show after SummerSlam. They had a SummerSlam, then they had the Raw where Triple H won the championship from Mankind, and then we have SmackDown. So here we are. So to start the show off, we have a recap from SummerSlam and Monday Night Raw. Out comes Triple H, the new WWF champion, and he is with China. It's really weird to see how quickly after this, the two pretty much split apart. They were together for a little while afterwards, but once Triple H really started feuding with Mr. McMahon, China went her way, Hunter went his way, and they both kind of split. They never really mentioned each other again. So Triple H is cutting a promo saying that you could line them all up and he's going to mow them down, and he is the game. The Rock comes out saying that Triple H's game, quite frankly, sucks, and out comes Commissioner Shawn Michaels saying there's only one man that could make a match for tonight, and that's Shawn Michaels himself. Shane McMahon comes out after Shawn Michaels says he's going to be the special referee. Shane says he will be the second special referee. And HBK says, no, 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 because you're going to be in a match tonight after your 4-star performance at SummerSlam. You yourself are now a WWF superstar. And you're going to be in a match with the man you screwed Monday night. Out comes Mankind. This opening segment lasts about 20 minutes, and I just absolutely love it. Mankind comes out and he says, all this talk about screwing and stroking got Mankind a little excited. It's also really cool to see the development between The Rock and Mankind in this stage, because we are just like a couple of weeks before the official Rock and Sock, coming together, so if you will call it that. So Shawn Michaels makes the match between Shane and Mankind, as well as Rock and Triple H for tonight's main event. So, cool shot there, guys. I can't explain how many times I've watched this tape over and over and over again. And I do have a few other tapes with a lot of episodes from like 99. The first few episodes I do have. So if you'd like to see them reviewed, guys, just comment down below. I'll make sure to bust out these VHS tapes and, watch them and review them. Back in 1999, there was no network. There was, I don't even know if there was DVR at the time. I'm sure there was, but, if you wanted to watch the show over again, there wasn't even really replays very often. Raw had it, of course, but not SmackDown. You had to buy some VHS tapes and record the shows. First match of the night is going to be Jeff Jarrett versus Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn. Jeff Jarrett's the Intercontinental Champion, defeating D'Lo Brown at SummerSlam. And he's with Deborah, he's with Kitty. The one thing I really like about these days is, I've said this before, the walk to the ring before the match. They show the guys walking through the hallways, kind of talk to themselves if they're in the groove. And this was a pretty quick match overall. Jeff Jarrett calls for the guitar, and Chyna ends up coming down to the ring. She snatches the guitar from Miss Kitty. She swings the guitar at Kitty. Kitty ducks, and Chyna hits Deborah. Billy Gunn ends up rolling Jeff Jarrett for the win. And after the match, Chyna low blows Billy Gunn. Kind of little, I don't know, it was a weird friendship between the two of these, Chyna and Billy Gunn. Very weird. Backstage, we got a little interview between Al Snow, who's asking the big boss man for his dog Pepper. We also have footage of Howard Finkel shining Chris Jericho's shoes. And Chris Jericho is going to make his debut on the first episode of SmackDown as well. So we'll get into that in a minute. We also have Test waiting in the parking lot for Stephanie McMahon. This is right around the time where Stephanie and Test are about to get married. Second match of the night. We got a 3-way match for the tag titles. Undertaker and Big Show, who are the champions, taking on X-Pac and Kane and the Acolytes. So this is right around the end of the Ministry of Darkness. It's more of this unholy alliance here with the Acolytes, Big Show, and Undertaker. Undertaker, I believe, had a groin injury, and he wouldn't even really wrestle much. He'd make appearances, but he wasn't really wrestling much. Undertaker joins King and Ross on commentary for this one. Big Show is getting a little sense slapped into him partway through the match. Undertaker is asking Big Show if he wants it and telling him to act like it, and he just gives him a big slap in the face. And Undertaker's pretty much saying he's tag team champions because he wants to be. You talk about stroke. Big Show hits a choke slam on X-Pac, retains the tag titles. Third match of the night is going to be the hardcore title match. Al Snow and the Big Boss Man. Title versus Pepper, it was supposed to be. Pepper comes out with a muzzle on, a little chihuahua with a muzzle. Picture that. During the match, these guys use even in these days, they didn't have the ladders like they would in years in the future. These were like your typical ladder that you would see at Home Depot. They had like a weird blue ladder. I might have seen this ladder one other time besides this. One point in the match, Al Snow is looking at the commentary table where Bossman gave King the pepper, and Al Snow is over there trying to snatch the dog up. Big Bossman comes up from behind with the nightstick. Bossman pins for the 3, winning the hardcore title, and Bossman ends up leaving with Pepper. X-Pac is seen backstage leaving Kane, and Kane is distraught. He's yelling at Shawn, and we also see Jericho walk into the ring. So this is Chris Jericho's first match in the WWF. I'm not sure if this is on any DVD or not, but pretty cool for Jericho to make his his debut match on the first SmackDown. He did appear at SummerSlam. Jericho did. He did, of course, appear on Raw, going toe-to-toe with The Rock in Chicago. So, fourth match of the night is going to be the Road Dogg, Jesse James, taking on Chris Jericho. I think Road Dogg was also injured at this time. So they kind of do like an injury angle at the end of this. So Chris Jericho is getting all his cool moves in with the double underhook backbreaker. Jericho pulls a table out, and Road Dogg blocks it, hits the shake, rattle, and roll, hits his shaky knee drop. Jericho ends up hitting a double power bomb, and on the second power bomb, he throws Road Dogg right through the table. Jericho is disqualified, and he locks in the Lion Tamer. Really cool visual here, and Finkel is out there like Jericho's cheerleader. He's a lackey. So the Fink is fired up backstage, and Chris Jericho's calling Fink a warrior. You're a warrior. And Fink is coming out to Ultimate Warrior music. This is like classic stuff. So Fink ends up running down before the next match, which I believe was supposed to be Shamrock and Venus. Fink runs down to the Ultimate Warrior's music. He's not even really running. He's more jogging. And he gets in Tony Chimmel's face, and he's saying, I want my job back. You're taking my ring announcing job. And Tony Chimmel takes him out and gets rid of Howard Finkel. Jericho gets Fink up, and he bumps shoulders with Shamrock on the way up the ramp. And Jericho hits a Shamrock with a chair, and they run backstage. So that match never happened between Shamrock and Venus. Stephanie McMahon now comes out, and she's precious little Stephanie at this point. She's like a really, really very good babyface here. And she calls out Andrew. Of course, Test's real name, Andrew Martin. And this is where Test proposes to Stephanie, and they hug and kiss in the ring. The Mean Street Posse comes down, they beat down Test, and then McFoley makes the save with a chair, and he calls out Shane McMahon, who comes out as well. And he says, Shane, I've been out here twice tonight. I'm not coming out for a third time. We are having our match right now. And he hands Shane the chair. Shane gets his cheap shot in, and then Triple H ends up coming down to the ring, hits a chair shot to Mankind. Shane McMahon wins, beating Mankind. Backstage once again, the Fink is locked out of Chris Jericho's car, and Jericho pulls off. And then we see Shamrock run to the car. He's like slamming the trunk. He's mad, and he just grabs Fink by his collar, and he's kind of threatening him. And then he's like insinuating he kind of shit himself. So really cool that moment. We see Tori walk into the ring, and this is supposed to be an evening gown match. Tori is taking her clothes off before she even gets to the ring. Before this match, we have a Stone Cold Steve Austin pre-taped interview with Michael Cole. He's selling the knee injury that happened at SummerSlam. One of his knees is heavily wrapped up, and he's saying, when I come back, that WWF title is mine, and Triple H better watch out. Sixth match of the night is going to be the evening gown match. Before the match even starts, they have a bunch of WWF referees and officials. Tony Garea gives Tori his WWF button-up shirt, and that's what she wears as an evening gown match. This was, evening gown matches were never really anything special. It's kind of the precursor to the Braun panties match. We all love those. Tori wins, and Luna appears, kind of restraining Tori. Next up, we got a Triple H promo with Lillian Garcia, and Triple H is like, you want to talk to me like that? Or China interrupts actually and says, you want to show the champ some respect, and do this interview the right way. So Triple H cuts a promo on The Rock and this and that. Seventh match of the night, the WWF Championship match. Triple H versus The Rock. And, these guys had some great matches in 99, some great matches in 98, and it's really cool to see the evolution of both characters, The Rock, Triple H, and their feud overall. How many great matches they had, from 99 into 2000, and this was really the start of it, the Triple H's championship run. They would have several more classics ahead of them. Shawn Michaels is the guest referee, like we mentioned, and early on in the match, Chyna gets sent to the back, just like at SummerSlam. So they're playing up on this again, that Shawn Michaels is still a babyface, and Shane McMahon comes out. He's angry. You can't do that. You can't throw her out. And then it's a good back and forth match overall. I think it's a pretty forgotten match. We see a rock bottom. Rock is setting up for the people's elbow. And once he hits that rope, he's hitting the other rope. We see a big sweet chin music right to The Rock. The Rock is laid out. And Triple H hits a pedigree, retaining the title. And Shawn Michaels and Triple H hug it out. And it was all a ruse. They all hold the title up and celebrate going off the air of the first episode of SmackDown. Overall, I think this was a decent show overall. Looking back at it, there was some really big moments. But as a first episode of SmackDown, it's hard to really rank it overall. I really enjoyed it. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. Thumbs up. I would highly recommend you guys watching it. And I'm not sure if this is where Rock and Shawn Michaels kind of had their altercations, because I'm pretty sure they had problems somewhere down the line. The Rock said he never wanted to do business with Shawn Michaels. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Comment down below. Take some time and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The next episode of the Attitude Era review series is going to be King of the Ring 97. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe. Take some time, guys. We'll talk to you later. Peace.